Hello, everybody. I am just getting ready to have a special guest on with me. As some of you know, I am doing 11 lives, 11 leaders, 11 weeks, um, or in some order of that. And today is my second week, and I'm really excited to have Jessica Everett-Ellerman, join me and come on to the live with me. So I'm just waiting for her, and we're going to get her on here right away. I'm so excited to introduce her to everybody. She is a former hairdresser. Hello, Sarela. Hello, Kayla. Thank you, Kyla. Sorry. Thank you for joining. She's been in the network marketing industry for 9 years, and she's been full time ever since. She's a mom. She's a wife. She is a top earner, top recruiter. I'm glad I can speak properly tonight. She is trained with Dr. John C. Maxwell. And if you're into personal development, you know who that is and how incredible that is. I'm just bringing her on right now. And she's a triple diamond and ambassador in the industry an ambassador of the industry. And her favorite and personal favorite thing is watching everybody win. And I love that so much. Oh, what happened? This is exciting, Sarela. Jessica, are you gone? Or are you still here? We did a trial run to make sure that this would work. Hi, Deb. Thanks for joining. Hi, Candace. Yes, Sarela, let's win together. Jessica is still here. She's throwing likes up. Not sure what happened. Are you able to try to request again, Jessica? Approve. Ah. There she is. Yes. Awesome. With her wicked background. I love it.
How
All
are you?
right. I'm wonderful. How are you, Jessica?
I'm really good. Really good.
Good. Thank you so much for being here. I know there's a lot of excited people.
Thank you for
Oh,
having me. And yes, I'm getting it
yeah.
out to everybody. I'm still trying to invite and make sure everyone's seeing it.
That's amazing. This is going to be epic. So I think let's just start, Jess, with Jessica, with your story, with your background. And we talked earlier, and um, I'd love to just know a little bit more about you, and I'm sure a lot of other people would as well. Like I said earlier, uh, you were a hairdresser before, so take us back to the beginning, and then I do have some questions for you too. So.
All right, awesome. Well, I can take you back to the beginning. I'm almost 10 years in this crazy industry we call network marketing. Holy cow. So almost a decade. I don't feel like I'm old enough to be in this industry a decade, but I guess I have a kid that drives a car, so I am. But
Well, you don't look old enough either, Jessica.
well, thank you. It's the products. The products have for real though, like the products. But so rewind it 10 years ago, you guys. I'm a hairdresser by trade. That's probably surprising. Um, my husband was in construction. He used to be a superintendent, and then also owned a company that like made foam that like went on architectural detail on the outside of houses. And so he made the big money and I made the fun money, right? Hair money, you can only make so much. Like as a hairdresser, you can't work enough hours to make crazy, crazy money unless you're like, I don't even know, Paul Mitchell or something. So I was doing hair, and the economy tanked. That's pretty much the story. Like, the economy tanked. The bills were good, you know, everything was fine, and then all of a sudden it wasn't. And so not only was Eric a superintendent, but he also ran this off-road racing series that was on NBC, and that was another big paycheck. I mean, we were doing so good, and then all of a sudden the economy tanked and everything tanked. So we found ourselves, we were newly married. I had a 6-month-old and a 6-year-old, and no income. My hairdressing money was going backwards just as much as his was, because the ladies who were sitting in my chair, their money was going backwards just like mine was. You know what I mean? So people were going longer for haircuts, longer in between. And we got to this point where we were looking for something, but I didn't know what it was going to be. And then I had my friend Debbie. Love Debbie. But Debbie started bugging me, and she started inviting me every single week to come look at her thing. Come to my house. I'm doing a new thing. You need to see it. And I was like, no, ma'am. I ain't doing no thing. And it was like week over week. She started the first week of December of 20, that'd be 2008. She started inviting me. And it took her every single week until January 27th, 2009. 8 weeks straight to get me to come to her stupid meeting. And so I remember the day clearly, clear as it could be. I don't know where Eric was, but he got home from work and he opened the fridge. This is the only thing that got me to a network marketing meeting, all right? He opened the fridge and there was not a beer in the fridge. And he said, Debbie and Mike are doing that weird thing again tonight, and I guarantee you they have a beer. We're going, and you're listening. And so I went to my first network marketing meeting, and that was it. I sat on the corner of the couch. My arms were crossed. I wasn't open to it. I didn't want to do it. But as this boring video was playing, I thought, what if it works? And like, I've been praying, literally wanting something different, and nobody's been saying like, hey, we'll help you go make money, and this video did. And I was like, what if it works? What's the worst that could happen? I remember that day clear. It was so crazy. The investment into that company was about $1,300. And I remember thinking to myself that I had scissors that I used to cut people's hair that cost more than the whole investment into that business. I had scissors that cost more than that. My booth rent costed more than that. They were like, I'm like, how much does it cost a month to keep your business running? They're like $200. And I was like, $200, like $1,300 to buy the business and $200 to keep it running. I pay like, I have thousands and thousands of dollars worth of color, thousands of dollars worth of equipment. And my booth rent was $1,200 a month at that point, just to have a chair to cut people's hair in. And I was like, I'm gonna do this thing. I don't know how, but I'm gonna figure it out. And so that was it. And I really, at the very beginning, I ran my business just like it was my hair business, which meant if no one was sitting in my chair, if I didn't have appointments booked, I wasn't going to make no money. I mean, right? Like if the present as a network marketer, being in one of those deals, if you're not sharing the products or sharing the business with someone, you're not going to make any money. So every hour that I had that wasn't to doing hair or the kids like soccer or whatever, I was in front of somebody. I was booking appointments. And it was so fun because like now it's 10 years later, we have all this technology. You can see your reports, like, how much money you're making at like every single moment. And there, I didn't even know how much money I would make. I was just working my tail off. If they wanted to be a part of it, I was enrolling them, getting them their products, doing all the deal. And the third month in, we started January 27th, the month of April. I remember walking to the mailbox and pulling out a paycheck that had 5 figures on it. It was just over $12,000. And it was at that moment I knew, I'm done. I can go do this and just help people.
Wow.
And I make money. Like, I'm out. Like, I'll never do hair again. Ain't nobody ever cried because I gave them a good haircut. I've had people cry because I've helped them pay their bills.
That's truth. That's awesome. What I was going to ask you something along those lines, and it totally lost my mind. Um,
Good.
sorry.
You're
So
good.
what was your next step from that? And you do you do a lot of online marketing too, do you not?
I do now.
Yeah.
I do now.
And
So
how
it's grown.
how has that changed your business?
Okay, well, really just times change, technology changes, and I was really I was really had my hands up against building online and doing social media because I'm kind of old school. Like 10 years ago, we weren't doing it. Like we had MySpace. Like we had MySpace. There wasn't Facebook. There wasn't Periscope and YouTube and Zoom and all this stuff. We had GoToMeetings, which was horrible. I mean, we had all this stuff. So I went from building the traditional way, which was really in coffee shops, home parties, doing everything the old school way, and then probably 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I really just started step back from my business and looked at it and was like, okay, I've been traveling the world. I've been, hitting these meetings so hard. And don't get me wrong, I would rather be in a house with real people doing this business um, rather than being online. But the times are just changing and people are just getting so accustomed to wanting it now and social media and wanting to not really be connected to people, which is freaks me out because that's what I want to do is like I want to be in your house, I want to like sleep on your couch, and I want to get up in the morning with you and run meetings all day. But the numbers just were showing to me that my online presence was building a bigger business than being in the houses and getting people to meetings and getting people to parties, and no one wanted to do hotel meetings anymore, and it just started to transform. And so probably 2 years ago I really took it online, created some groups, started learning it. I mean, I had to learn it myself because I was like, Jessica ain't doing it that way. I'm doing it the old school way. That's what's always worked. But what will kill us is saying that's the way we've always done it, because that's not the way it's always going to be. And so, yeah, we build a lot online now. It's straight through social media. I have people that have earned thousands of dollars in their first months strictly through Facebook.
Wow. That's powerful. That's amazing. And I just quickly would like, I know you've done some work on with yourself uh, with fitness. And like we talked about earlier, can you share a little bit about that and your favorite product that we have, whatever product that is? I'd really love to hear that. I think that's for me, that's a piece that I miss in my business is the fitness part. I'm doing great with the products myself, but that other piece where hearing from someone, if someone's watching that I've invited, hearing from someone that um, has the fitness background.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I grew up very active. I was a gymnast, and all through my childhood years into high school, I competed on the national level. So for me, I've always really stayed, and I mean, it's kind of in my genes, if you will. Not only, I mean, we just grew up eating right. I learned how to take care of my body as a gymnast. I never had any weight struggle. So a lot of people see Zija and see the big weight loss stories and think that's what this is about. And it's really not. This business is about the nutritional gap. And so, yes, I am a fitness competitor, but I'm also a celiac. I'm also allergic to a whole bunch of things. So, celiac basically is an autoimmune disease, and we've got a lot of issues that go along with it. I ended up in the hospital. That's how I got diagnosed. And so, just because I'm thin and because I've maintained a healthy BMI doesn't mean I was the healthiest person in the world. What I've always lacked my whole life really is a nutritional gap. I was missing something nutritionally. So, that's really what Zija is all about. So for a fitness competitor like I was, there you couldn't ask for something better, especially a fitness competitor with the issues that I've got. I'm allergic to not only to gluten, but I'm allergic to pretty much every chemical. So I can't have sucralose, aspartame, acetylflame, diet sodas, diet gum, most pre-workouts. The only reason I say most is because we've created a pre-workout that I can actually use. I usually can't take BCAAs because they're sweetened with aspartame or sucralose. And so I used to, as a fitness competitor, I would supplement, before I found Zija, I would supplement with all this crap, with synthetics, biosynthetic identicals, all my, vitamins, omegas. I would burp up fish oil. I took more supplements than you could even imagine. Plus, I would try and get the fitness side of it in, BCAAs, pre-workout, and I just couldn't because I was allergic to most of them. So before Zija, I competed as a bikini competitor. I'm 5'6". I competed at about 109 pounds because I couldn't get my body what it needed to put on the muscle that I needed. So every time I would compete, the judges would say, "You're too thin. You're too thin. You need to put more muscle on." I was eating 3,000 calories and I couldn't build more muscle because I had a nutritional gap that's what I was missing, was that I wasn't giving my body. Yes, I was eating clean, because you can eat as clean as you want. The food doesn't have in it what it used to anymore. Like a broccoli today compared to broccoli 40 years ago isn't giving us what I need. So I was iron deficient, vitamin B deficient, all of these things. So when I came to Zija, and I came to Zija for a business. Okay, I understood, like they told me moringa is going to be awesome and you're going to love it. And I was like, whatever, swamp water. I'm going to build a team here because your retention's really high. I wasn't thinking like moringa was going to change my life, but I started drinking the moringa. And I went from competing at 109. My heaviest that I competed at pre-Zija was 116 pounds. That's as big as I got. That was up without cutting water. That was, if I would have cut water, I would have been 109. But biggest I competed was 116. Coming to Zija, starting to put the moringa in and filling that nutritional gap that I had, I competed at 126 pounds and finally placed. So in California's heavy competition here, just there's so many girls that do it. But it was nice to finally be able to put on the muscle that I needed to put on, be able to use our pre-workout because it doesn't have any sucralose or aspartame, and know that all of our products come from a plant base in which I can put them in my body, I can put them on my body and not have an allergic reaction.
Incredible. That's amazing. That's a great story. Thank you so much for sharing that, because that's something that I personally didn't know, and I don't know with some of the viewers that will and have been watching this, if they know that. So thank you so much for sharing that. There's a lot of power in that. So I do have a couple questions, and I know you are a busy, busy woman, so I'll get these questions out and I will let you go. So what is the biggest challenge you have faced within our industry?
All right. Well, the biggest challenge I have faced, so there's this is a two-sided question here. So me personally, I have been with 3 companies. I wasn't lucky enough to find Zija for my first company. So I started with my first company. It's not even in existence anymore. And then I went to my second company and it had horrible products. And the products didn't retain a customer base, and I knew that wasn't going to work, so I had to find Zija. And so through that process, in my second company, I became the top female money earner. And when I left there, they weren't very happy. I was doing about $2 million in sales a month. So personally, I had lawsuits and that kind of stuff. When you think about it like that, when you've got someone who's doing that much volume that just says, deuces, I'm out, they're mad. And so things are going to happen. So personally, that's the biggest thing that I see, or I've felt. But the biggest problem I think with the industry is us women. Not me, because I figured it out. Like I became a top money earner. I've done the deal. Like I've taken my emotions out of it. I think the biggest problem with this industry is women not grabbing more of the things that give them power and going and building themselves a big business. The statistics are over 80% of the industry are made up of women, and only 3% of the top money earners are women. That shows me that every woman will sign up for crap, but they'll never go build it, right? And so, what are the things that might make it easier for like a female, especially someone like me? I had 2 kids, I had a husband. I got them involved. Like they knew what my goals were. Like I didn't just come home and become I had to sit down and say, look, I'm going to go take this thing seriously. Like I'm about to go crush it, and I need your support. Like I need your help with the kids. I'm not going to be making dinner every night. I'm going to be running meetings. I'm going to be on Zoom calls. The nighttime's an important time. And I mapped it out and I made it a serious business. And I think that more women need to take this business seriously, because do you really want your husband out like working, I don't know, hundreds of hours? Do you want your kids going to daycare? Do you want all those things? No, you don't. So what can you do? This business, you give it 90 days of ridiculous pressure, and you will eliminate those things inside of your life. It's that women get emotional. Oh, I missed a softball game. I missed a baseball game. I missed this. I missed that. Yes, for this amount of time. But then for the rest of the time, you're free and everyone can do this with you, and your husband's home and he doesn't have to go to work and bust his butt and be stinky and smelly and be mad that he, whatever, had to deal with all the people all day. So if you're in a household, like for me, Eric's, I'm an introvert, but I wanted this business bad enough to figure out how to speak to people and get in front of groups and do that to make this thing work. He was not going to make that happen. So I wasn't hoping that he was going to somehow turn into somebody who wanted to do network marketing. I also knew that what we were doing wasn't going to get us a 7-figure income. I wanted a 7-figure income. So I turned it on. And I think more women need to really just grab a hold of that and crush it.
Awesome. That is probably the best answer. That's amazing. How do you, and this is, I'm going to say this one next because I think it kind of goes back to what you just said. How do you respectfully step away from people that aren't being supportive? And I think women deal with that emotional piece.
And I did a lot of that. So a lot of this business is just mindset and keeping yourself in a good mind space and speaking positively to yourself. And those are all things you'll kind of learn over the course. And I did remove myself. It wasn't that I see my family, a lot of them on holidays. They are not the people that I spend my days with every single time, because we all know we are the sum total of the 5 people we spend the most time with, right? So if those 5 are bringing you down, you're going to go down. I mean, you're going to go down with them. So there's got to be a time where when you decide, like, I'm going to go crush this thing, you're going to have to probably have a conversation with probably your best friend, your mom, I don't know, a few of them. And you're going to say, look, I'm putting my head down. I'm going to miss the barbecues. I'm going to be there on the weekends. I'm about to crush this thing for 90 days so that I can go set my family free. And so you're not going to hear a ton from me. Like, Christmas will happen, everyone's still invited, whatever, but you're going to have to physically remind yourself to step away from that, or it will continue to keep you in the same place you are. To go somewhere different, you've got to get in a different mindset, you've got to get in a different place, and you've got to surround yourself with the right people. And the right people aren't going to want to hang around your friends and your family that are bringing you down. It's like crabs in the bucket, right? One tries to get out, the other crabs pull you back in, and you're going to have to be stronger than that.
Phenomenal. Thank you. And I just want to do a quick shout out to Kyla. She sent these questions over. So thank you, Kyla. They're fantastic questions. And the last question is, Jessica, what is the best advice you would give your rookie MLM self, network marketer self?
I guess the best advice, because so I'm like, just like, tell me what to do and I'll do it, right? I didn't want the fluff. I don't care how the comp plan works. I don't care, none of the rest of that stuff. What I cared about was tell me exactly what to do and I'll do it. And what I didn't realize when I first got started was, amateurs join network marketing. That's what I did. I joined and I just sort of started doing it. And I worked real hard, but I didn't know the numbers or how many people I needed to enroll or any of that stuff. So, and then after 2.5 years in the business, when I left my first company, I realized at that point that professionals launch a business. And so that was that first time that I really took 90 days and put massive effort into a 90-day run. And if you do enough research in the industry, you'll figure out that most people that go to a 6-figure income very quickly put about 40 people in the business in their first 60 to 90 days. And if I would have realized the numbers, if someone would have just told me, you have to continue to talk to people until you get this many enrollments, I would have done it. But no one said that to me. So the biggest advice I'd give myself is I would have taken those first 2.5 years and I would have turned it into a 6-figure income in 90 days by condensing everything I did down into a 90-day period rather into over those 2 years, which I did the second time. And sponsored 12, I think, my first week. By the end of 60 days, I probably had 30 people in the system, and I've never looked back since then.
Amazing. Wow. Amazing. And well, I guess I'm going to let you go because I know you're busy, but is there anything else just as a sign off that you think every person, every woman, um, every network marketer, or someone that might be sitting on the fence, maybe if they're watching this, thinking maybe I should join, maybe I shouldn't. What is one thing that you want to leave everyone to know, leave them with to know about what you do, what we do, about this industry, and your favorite product?
Oh,
And your favorite product.
my favorite product is Smart Mix. So
Okay.
Moringa is for everybody. Everyone needs Moringa. So whether you're Smart Mix, XM Plus, or Super Mix, for me it's just Smart Mix because of my celiac. So it helps me with the extra prebiotics help my guts a lot. A lot of the mornings I'll do Smart Mix and XM Plus together so that I get double the Moringa plus the prebiotics and a little bit of energy. But Smart Mix is my ish. And Smart Mix or Super Mix for everybody. And I think that they should just go back and forth with them. So they make sure they're getting their prebiotics and getting the double of the moringa. So that's, I mean, what, right? The Super Mix is our #1 selling product. Most people don't have as much gut issues as some of us. Smart Mix is for your gut issues. You got any gut issues, like even like acid reflux, get you some Smart Mix and friggin' drink it. As far as the industry is concerned and getting started, you guys, most people fail because they do this wrong. So I know that if you've never done this before, you're looking at this thing and you're like, I don't want to do one of those things because I don't want to be the person like spamming raps onto my wall and asking for everybody to sign up. And I don't want to be this and I don't want to be that. I don't want to friggin' just do all the creepy crap that people do that makes you hit those 3 little dots in the top of the Facebook page and hit hide because they're like, oh my God, keto, 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 or freaking rap, and you're like, stop it, please. So you guys, that's not what this business is about. If you'll do it the opposite of everybody that you've ever seen do it wrong, you'll win. That's what I did. I was like, I don't want to be like that person, so I'm going to figure out how to do it the opposite of what they did. And I just took everything that I had seen everybody fail and did the right things. And I found people that were winning and I followed what they were doing. You don't have to spam your wall. You don't have to do any of that. You guys, this business, really when you get down to it, it's not about the products. It's not about the money. It's about people. So if you'll just take a step back and look at the surroundings, look at your people, look at your network and see what it is that they need or what it is that they want and be a dot connector and show them how Zija can bridge that gap. Do they need nutrition? Are they overweight? Do their joints hurt? There's a million problems. Do their finances suck? Did you dream as kids and say one day we were going to do this and you never have? Because you don't have the finances to do that. And you can go to them and say, look, I think I've found the solution. You're a dot connector, guys. It's not about the people, or it's not about the product. It's not about the money. It's about the people. So go care about some people and you will crush this thing.
Fantastic. I love it. Thank you so much for taking some time with me this evening and sharing your story, your knowledge, and like I said earlier, you're so blunt and real about all of it. I love your posts, and you're the same way about parenthood as well. It's amazing. So
Thank
if
you
you're
for
in the industry,
on. Thank you for
yeah,
having
no,
me. I
thank you.
hope it was helpful. You guys. If anybody wants to follow me or connect with me, just find me on my Facebook page. And there's my mom. She's even saying hi right now. So hi, Mom. And I'll log off and let you wrap this thing up, girl.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Jessica. Have a wonderful evening. All right. So that was amazing. Thank you so much again, Jessica. I feel very blessed that you took the time to do this with me tonight. So thank you. I hope you got some, for the listeners and the watchers, I hope you got some great nuggets. What an amazing powerhouse woman she is. and I feel so privileged that I get to learn from her. So please go find her on Facebook. If you are within the industry and you want to learn more, go follow her because she's got awesome stuff on there all the time. And if someone invited you to this live, please go back to that person and talk to them. Go reach out to them. If you're thinking about joining, if you're already in the industry or in our company, please go back and talk to the person, your upline. And if you're going to enroll, talk to that person that invited you. So this has been absolutely incredible. Thank you so much to everybody that joined. I am out in beautiful BC, very hot here. And so I'm going to go back into the air-conditioned house. And again, thank you, everybody. Please share, like, drop a replay if you're watching the replay. And I will see you guys soon. I will have another top income earner next Tuesday, 9 o'clock Mountain Standard Time as well. And I'm really excited to bring you that as well. So please watch for that. Have a wonderful evening, guys. Thank you. Bye.